Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are kicking off our coverage of the 2014-15 NBA season right now with Indian Cowboy. We're going to discuss the futures odds for the Eastern Conference, Western Conference, and to win the NBA title. And this is not an accident that Indian Cowboy is our guest at Doc Sports. He has a particularly good record in the NBA going back a bunch of years, and we'll hear all about that right now. Indian Cowboy, thanks for being back with us.
Hey, thanks for having us, Pete.
All right, so we're just going to get your thoughts on futures odds. We're going to start with the Eastern Conference, but right now, tell everyone why I'm so happy that you're our guest for the NBA season, to start the NBA season right here. How's your record at Doc Sports been this past year and years past?
Well, last year was we were actually number one in the country last year, as you know, 94 and 62. We went 60%. For plus 12,890. I think we went plus 8,500 in the second half, 26 and 13 in just step outs. We love to step out whenever we see a chance. And every single one of those plays is tracked and documented on the page. That spreadsheet is available to all the clients. College basketball, we went 65 and 45 for 4 of 5 winning years for plus 4450. You add it all up together, plus 17,300. We only do 159 selections a year in the NBA. That's all we do. And we do 109 selections in college basketball combined together. Roughly, we average about 263 selections per year in basketball. And last year, we hit 159 of the 263 for 59% of plus 70,300. We want to tack on WNBA as well. We went plus 20,300 for all three sports in basketball. So we love the one play of the day system, and we love NBA futures. That's why you're the only media that we do. So we're excited to give our 8-star Western Conference or our 8-star future in the Western Conference in the NBA. And we have a 3-star future in the East as well, which we'll do now.
All right, awesome. Well, those are the numbers. That's why I'm so happy to have Indian Cowboy as the guest right now. And before we get your thoughts on the Eastern Conference, before the regular season has started, what are you doing right now? Are you making power rankings? How are you preparing? How do you prepare to handicap the upcoming NBA season?
For the NBA, a lot of our stuff is based on our calculus models and power rankings. That's what's worked for us in so many other sports. That's what worked so well for us with the NBA last year. Plus, we keep up really closely with all the news and the changes and so on. We love taking teams that got trucked the day before to show some heart the next day. We love taking teams who come off big wins. As the classic letdown theory is one of our biggest theories. And we've always believed that when there's a key injury to a team or a player, that a game typically goes over the posted total. That's something that we have followed for a long time. So we love stepping out on that. So these are the things that we look forward to. Obviously, the early bird package is up. So anybody can grab it. A lot of people are grabbing the early bird packages now. But for us, it's always about taking teams early on, taking teams that are undervalued, that can go over the posted total for us totals. And then we love fading teams that everyone else is high on, but it takes them a while to gel.
Well, I'm sure that your analysis can shed a lot of interesting light in the Western Conference. In the East, though, not sure how much your power rankings deviate from the market odds right now. I mean, Cleveland is the clear favorite. They're even money right now at Pinnacle. Then Pinnacle has Chicago as the somewhat distant second choice at plus 324 to win the East, and then everyone else is more than 10 to 1. So what's your opinion? I mean, is there any reason why Cleveland should not be the even money favorite in the East?
No, I mean, they should be the even money favorite. I mean, that's what makes sense. Cleveland clearly has the talent level. It'll take a little while to gel in Coach Blatt's system. It's not going to be one of those things that, in fact, we'll probably fade Cleveland right off the bat. So it'll take some time to gel for the Cavs. But, you have to give it to them. LeBron has gone to the finals consistently. At the end of the day, this is what the NBA wants. ESPN wants this. Everybody wants to see this. So would not be surprised to see Cleveland as ahead. But we actually have a 3-star future. We only have 2, a 3 in the East and an 8 in the West, which we'll get to. But the 3 in the East, take a look at the 76ers. They have 16 wins is the total, and they're going to be horrible this year. They were, last year they had 19 wins, and they're even going to be worse this year. And I know a lot of people think, well, 16 wins is not a lot of wins. But don't forget, in 2011, 2012, the Bobcats had 7 wins. You know what I mean? So it is not that impossible for a team to have 16 wins or less. This team, their stated philosophy is to tank the last 2 or 3 seasons in order to get more and more draft picks so they can actually be competitive. You can see Michael Carter-Williams will start having injuries all of a sudden. He's injured. Joel Embiid is injured right now. This team really has no serious talent outside of, Brandon Davies. We're talking, mediocre guys, and KJ McDaniels, a lot of young guys that are on this team, but no true talent. To win an NBA ballgame, you have to have veteran leadership, and you have to have quality guys that have meshed together. These are just a bunch of guys together that are going to be put together And, the Sixers are looking to tank. They're openly stated. And last year, the Celtics were looking to tank. But now with Marcus Smart, they're listed at 27 wins. This is a very low total here. Don't be surprised to see the Sixers have like 12 or 13 wins this year.
So Indian Cowboy liking playing the under Philadelphia 76ers win total and maybe a shot with the over Boston. All right, so if you had to pick one of these 10-1 or greater long shots to win the East, not the Cavs, not the Bulls, which team do you think might have the best value of the long shots to take it? The Wizards are about 12-1. Then the fourth choice is the Raptors at 21-1. Then Miami 23.5-1. Charlotte 31-1. Knicks 32-1. Brooklyn 33-1. Indiana 35-1. Which of any of these teams you think might have some value to upset?
Yeah, as you know, I'm not a huge fan of this whole 10-1 type of stuff because typically I think it's better just to do a win total for one team.
Right.
Not to have too many variables involved, because to have a team win the East, you got to wonder about the other 15 teams that are involved.
Right.
If I had to pick one, I'll take Washington. I mean, The difference is Washington got 44 wins last year. They played extremely well. The difference now is they have a quality guy in Paul Pierce to give them that late push as far as that late attitude that this team went there. Washington now reminds me a lot of the old Celtics. They have that attitude. They got the big guys, the bruisers down there. Don't be surprised if Washington does extremely well. They're the dark horse. And if the team really matches up well to the Bulls, it is the Wizards. And they match up really well to the Cavs as well, because Washington can play some defense, and Cleveland, that's what they lack. So if we had to go for a dark horse long shot, it'd be Washington.
All right. Thanks so much for your thoughts on the Eastern Conference futures. Indian Cowboy. Now let's move on to the West.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.